Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Boink Studios, and check us out on boinkstudios.com, where you can see all of our projects, past, present, and future. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy Show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this is Tom Clark's Main Event. We're back once again here on Facebook Live. Glad you are with us. We're also recording today. The show will post on YouTube and is always available on boinkstudios.com. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. This is episode number 127, and yes, we're moving right along here on Facebook Live. I want to thank everyone for joining us here, of course, and for coming back each and every week. Much thanks to Heidi Ryan and the whole crew at Wrestling Rumors for giving us this platform. We do greatly appreciate it. So, episode number 126 was the Friday Free-for-All. We just let it fly, man. Ran wild, brother. It was an open forum where we discussed all kinds of stuff about WWE, AEW, and other pro wrestling news and rumors. But now we're moving on, and we're going to get back on track. Today, we return you to your normally scheduled programming. Yay! Are you excited? I am. Why is that? Because this weekend is WWE Fastlane. That's right, folks. This time the main event is WWE Fastlane Preview. Shisha! What's happening? How's everybody doing today? We've said our preliminary hellos. Alma, what's up? How's it going? Brenda says first time here. What's up, Brenda? Danny in Myrtle Beach. Danny, I have not visited your neck of the woods in a few years. We used to go there every year for vacation, at least once. So there you go. Hope everyone's doing well. This is just to let you know, if you are listening to this show because you subscribed on iTunes and you don't watch the show live on Facebook, I will remind you, good people out there right now that are listening after the fact, bear with me for a tick. You can always see the show live every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live on Facebook on Wrestling Rumors. The videos are archived. You can always go back and watch if you want to. But please, of course, feel free to download, subscribe, and download on YouTube. Excuse me, on iTunes. You can see the show on YouTube as well. But you subscribe and download on iTunes. It's free. All the podcasts are free, man. I don't charge for any of my stuff. I just don't do that. I get paid to write, and that works for me. So there you go, folks. Like I said, hope everyone's doing great out there today. Christy, welcome to the show. Claire, hello in Manchester. All right. Leaving work on time so I get to listen live. Claire, thank you so much. Got some great comments. Linda says, come to Cali. You know, Linda, I've never been to the West Coast. Never. Here's the thing, and everybody's going to laugh at me when I tell you this. I've never been on a plane. I know what you're thinking. Tom looks like the jet-setting type. Traveling the world. I really haven't. I've been on 3 cruises, so I have been out of the country. But as far as flying, I just haven't. You want to know why? Has nothing to do with my insane fear of heights, which, by the way, I do have an insane fear of heights. And it really doesn't have it's got less to do with that than it does the fact that I've never really set out to take a vacation where I had to fly, if that makes any sense. Of course, I want to go places, but, you know, money is a factor. You know, for a lot of us working class schmucks out here, you can't just go, hey, let's pack up the kids and go to England this weekend. You know what I'm saying? That's not realistic at all. So, you know, as far as getting on a plane, even flying around the country, dude, it's money, baby. You know what I'm saying? Stuff's not cheap. These are all excuses, by the way. There's no good excuse for me to never have been on a plane, but there you go. So we will rectify that because one day I do hope to go to WrestleMania. But they do come to the East Coast quite a bit, so there you go. So Keith asking about Dean. As of right now, Keith, to answer your question, because you're such a loyal viewer, as a bunch of you are, thank you very much. Thank you, Paul. As of right now, unless something's happened behind the scenes, and it very well could have, Dean Ambrose is gone at the end of April. There's been nothing that's been made public. I wrote about this week, actually, on Wrestling Rumors. Feel free to go look that up. But what I wrote was that one of the problems is that Dean doesn't talk on social media. He doesn't do social media. If he does, he's not talking. You know what I'm saying? He might be looking, but he's not talking because he doesn't do it. So we're not going to get any information out of that guy. WWE's not going to come out and tell you anything until they're ready to. The guys and gals around him can talk, but whether or not they're going to let you have any 411 or anything is beyond me. I don't know. But as of right now, Dean's gone. We'll see at the end of April what happens. So, okay, folks. So we've got a big show, like we said before. We got to cover Fastlane. Going to be fun to cover, I think. And I got to be honest with you, man. I think this show is going to be so much better than what we all previously thought it was going to be. I wrote a column this morning that we'll post this weekend, in which I said that, usually Fastlane is like a throwaway event. Any event that's right before WrestleMania kind of is considered by us to be a throwaway event. You know what I mean? It's like a speed bump on the way to Mania. We're like, how many things could actually happen at the last gig before WrestleMania? I got to be honest with you. I'm looking forward to Fastlane. The card looks good. There's hot stuff going into it. Hopefully hot stuff coming out of it. Do you know what I'm saying? So we got a big card to get to, man. Hello, Tammy, in Lewis County, Kentucky. What's up, Brenda? Hey, everybody, welcome. If I've not said hello or good afternoon or good morning to you, my apologies. We're rolling right along. We're going to go ahead and kick this sucker off. So buckle up, kids. Here we go. The kickoff match to Fastlane, Sunday, March 10th in Cleveland, Ohio, as it were. Rey Mysterio versus Andrade in the kickoff match. I think we can all agree on one thing. Rey versus Andrade is a premium match. Okay, every time they've hooked up, they've been 5-star. They've been killing it. I think we could also all agree on the fact that we didn't want to see this on the kickoff match. It should have been on the main card. I suspect they're saving this for WrestleMania. The kickoff match may just end in a breakdown and may only last 5 minutes, and it's a pull apart or is some crazy shenanigans going on, and they're going to save the actual showdown for WrestleMania 35. That is my guess. Barry was at WrestleMania, man. I bet you had a blast. Awesome. Christopher says Rey for the win. Absolutely. I think that Rey. Well, here's the thing. Chris. Andrade's had his share of nice moments here on SmackDown. What is this feud building to? Is this feud building to, the winner of the feud eventually gets a United States Championship match? Maybe even a WWE Championship match? Maybe at some point down the road. More importantly, who is this feud engineered to get over? I would suspect it's Andrade. So I would not be surprised if Andrade ends up ultimately winning the feud, but that Rey could win Sunday and all would be fine, and it could lead to another match down the road, hopefully at Mania. So, yes, bitch, you're correct. Jim Ross is leaving WWE. Listen, there's been a rumor going around that Jim is signing a multi-year contract with AEW. One cat said this on Twitter. One guy with one website said this. He's provided no sources. No one's backed it up. Now, I've been on here. He made it official he's leaving, but not about the AEW stuff. So I've been online this morning. I've seen nothing to the contrary, nothing backing up this guy's story or whatever. That's why yours truly hasn't written on it yet. I was going to write on it for ProWrestling.com last night, and I talked to my editor, and he's like, "Dude, you can't verify the source." I don't like to write stuff that's not, at least has a strong possibility of being true. Okay, if we can back it up with a source or two, that's even better. That's what we want to do, actually, obviously. And we couldn't do that. So that's not to suggest that Jim is not signed with AEW. It's not to suggest that he's not speaking to Cody Rhodes and crew at AEW. That's just to say that as of today, right now, this moment, it is not official. Okay? So we'll see what happens. Carlos says Jim Ross is never on TV anyways. You're right. He was under a WWE contract. But I don't know what the terms of. It's like basically whenever they want to call him in to do play-by-play, if they wanted to do it, or to do a guest panel or whatever, he would do that. He did a guest panel recently. I forget what event he did it in. Nothing on AA right now. Don't be surprised if you see him behind the scenes in AEW. It's a perfect fit for him, I believe, if he wants to do it. I know he and Cody are close, and we'll see what happens. And as we've said before on the program, folks, every time someone decides to leave the company or is fired or released or whatever, the first rumor that's obviously going to come out is this cat's heading to AEW. I was getting ready to say WCW. Isn't that funny? He's going to go to AEW. But you know what, man? Take that with a grain of salt, dude. That is all us just speculating randomly, as we often tend to do. So there you have it. Andrade, the wrestler formerly known as Andrade Cien Almas, is going to be facing Rey Mysterio. Someone just said, Victor said, tough break for Tommaso Ciampa. So Ciampa did have surgery, or he's undergoing surgery now, or something, one of the two, maybe both. And supposedly everything's fine from what I've seen, so it's all good. He should be fine. He's on the road to recovery, I'm sure, starting tonight. He'll be on the road to recovery. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it won't take too awful long to get him back. I heard a great point made yesterday on another podcast, and we'll share it with you because I was really impressed with this. And it really, you ever hear a point made on a podcast, or a friend makes a point to you, and once you hear it out loud, you're like, God, that's really good. Here was the point. The point was that Ciampa spent a whole career outside of WWE, putting his body through the toll, putting his body through the grind each and every night, okay, for a long, long time, a lot of years. By the time he gets to WWE, guess what happens? Not only does he get to WWE, his bump card goes with him, and his bump card's filling up, as the guys like to say. So injuries are going to start becoming a factor. It's a great point, and it's something we're well to remember. Anytime WWE signs a 10-plus year veteran, that guy's going to come with a little bit of baggage. You know what I mean? Because this business is tough on your body, man. The ring hurts. Trust me when I tell you, the ring hurts. That's just reality. Jonathan says, Roman looks in good health. Yes, he does. Wade says, God bless Ciampa. Hope he has a great recovery and return by the end of the year. I would love to see that as well. Alan is asking if I'm on the air. Please don't tell me I'm froze right now. Please, everyone, tell me that you see me happening, because I've got a signal. Everything looks fine from here. So, yeah. This is the the dangers and pitfalls sometimes of doing live broadcasts, man. You know what I mean? Live without a net, baby. That's how we are. That's how we roll, yeah. Okay, let's move to the main card. I assume this is the main card. It does not say it's not the main card. Raw Tag Team Champions, The Revival, defending against Chad Gable and Bobby Roode and Aleister Black and Ricochet in a triple threat match. Me and the boy got to see Ricochet and Aleister Black, as you good folks know out there, on this past SmackDown last week in Charlotte, North Carolina. Great to see those guys live. They electrified, as it were. Fun match. They look good together. Listen, man. I've read and heard a lot of people talking about, I would rather see them as singles and Aleister as a lone wolf and blah 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 blah. Enough, dude. The fact is, both these dudes are on the roster. They're both there. They're getting significant amount of airtime on Raw and SmackDown. They're killing it right now. They've never looked better. They're clicking along. Are they Arn and Ole? No. Are they Arn and Tully? No. Are they Shawn and Marty? No. But guess what? They don't have to be. They don't have to be an established tag team, the next big thing to hit tag team wrestling in the history of World Wrestling Entertainment. They don't have to be any of those things. This is a way to get both these guys on the roster, just as the Shield was a way to get Roman, Seth, and Dane on the roster. And then when the time comes to split them up, have them go their separate ways, they will. This is not set in stone from where I'm sitting. I don't see this being set in stone. Again, to me, in my opinion, this is a way to introduce both guys to the roster. And so far, I think it's going swimmingly well. Now, here's the deal. And Tina, hello, Tina. What's up? Thank you for that point. Black and Ricochet versus Hardys would be fun. They do want it. There you go. Paul says they retain. Rude turns due for a push. I would love to see Rude get something. Can I be honest with you? And here's the fun part for me, is that with Ciampa and Gargano back on the same page, we might get to see another glorious bomb, which we didn't think we would see again. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do yourself a favor, go to YouTube. Not right now. You're watching the show. Don't do it right now. Do it later, after the show. But go to YouTube and look up Glorious Bomb, WWE. You will thank me for it. It is epic, okay? That's all I'm going to say. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing that again. Let's see. Do you think David and Triple H go to WrestleMania? Absolutely, Alan. Yeah. WrestleMania 35 is their ultimate destination for sure. Naman is asking about the recent NXT call-ups. If you're talking about the latest batch, thumbs up. If you're talking about the batch before it, thumbs way down, baby, to the ground even. Ethan Carter III, terrible. Heavy Machinery, they're on TV, yay. Terrible. Lacey Evans, beyond terrible. Lars Sullivan, disappeared. It's like that TV show that premiered that had a lot of promise and you heard good things about it, and then it premiered or it got pushed behind and it got put in a bad time slot and nobody watched or nobody had the chance to watch because maybe it didn't air. Do you see where I'm going with that? Analogy may fall apart in the long run, but you get the point, right? We all had, high hopes. They were all dashed. They're being dashed every week. EC3 is basically oiling himself up backstage now. I know the ladies may love that. Trust me when I tell you the ladies doesn't love all of us doing that out in the open. Not that I would know, mind you. Don't even suggest anything freaky. But there you go. Harry brings up a good point about being pre-recorded. They've got stuff recorded. I think, how far out are they on NXT right now? I think 2 weeks out on the tapings, maybe 3. And they're continuing to tape, folks. Okay, it's how they roll with NXT, right? NXT's not live. You guys know that, except for the TakeOver events, obviously. But yeah, it's really weird. Like, Johnny has to show up with a belt. It's not his, and it's this, that, and the other, and it's really weird. And, it's just the nature of the beast. It's how NXT is done. I agree, it's silly. And I guess they think that the majority of fans are not connecting the dots, putting 2 and 2 together and watching all the programming. But, a lot of us are. Not all of us are. A lot of us are. That's the truth. I think that the gap between fans and the audience who watch WWE just for Raw and SmackDown, and fans in the audience that watch WWE and follow them on social media and read the columns and watch my show, hi, how are you, and all other good stuff, that there's a big gap there, and it's bigger than maybe we even believe. And from our perspective, it doesn't look that way. But for the casual fans' perspective that doesn't watch my show, how dare them, boo them today, boo on them, shame on them. And that don't read the dirt sheets, and that don't go online, that don't follow these cats on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all the hoo-ha and whatever goes along with it. They don't have a clue what we're talking about right now. It doesn't affect them in the slightest. It's a really, really weird dynamic going on right now. Thank you, Christopher. Ben is asking about who I think is going to be the next NXT champion. The buzz right now is Adam Cole, even though a lot of people are saying, Adam Cole is the safe choice. He's the safe choice. I wouldn't go that route. Shut up. Adam Cole has earned it. Adam Cole deserves whatever title they can put around his waist. That guy is a solid entertainer. He's very good in the ring. Great personality. Awesome to be around. Just a heck of a nice guy, and a true professional in every sense of the word. If you're going to put the belt on someone, put it on Cole, man. Why not? You've already put the NXT North American Championship on Dream. If you're not going to put the NXT title on Dream, put it on Cole. It's fine. I don't see the problem at all with putting it on Cole. I say go. Baby. Thank you, Jim, for that. So what do we think about the tag team match? I personally don't want to see the Revival lose the straps right now. We've talked here on the program before about basically at the end of the day, championship belts are just trophies, nothing more. They're props or whatever you want to call it. Not all of us feel that way as to the deep meaning behind a championship. The championships tend to mean more to us than they do the actual companies themselves, in my humble opinion. Sometimes that could differ based upon what title, what situation, and what worker they're going to put the belt on. So having said that, I just don't want to see the Revival lose the belts right now. I don't want to see them lose the belts right now. I'm watching New Japan because I'm trying to catch up. And I just watched the anniversary show with Will Ospreay versus Jay White. Non-title match, by the way. Excellent match. Go check that out if you get the chance, if you haven't already. So Chris is asking, Riddle versus Dream, a good match or no? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I loved all that stuff on NXT where Dream snapped his fingers and the spotlight went on him. It's a nice touch. So yeah, I don't want to see the Revival lose. I think they will retain the championships. Okay, so we're moving on, folks. Another championship match, the SmackDown Women's Championship. Asuka defending against Mandy Rose. So, how are we feeling about Asuka and Mandy Rose? So here's the thing, folks. When it comes to Mandy Rose, everyone has their critics. Everyone has an opinion. Right? That's how this goes. Not just pro wrestling, but in NBA, NFL, NHL, Major League Baseball. We're all the same in terms of we think our way is best. We think we know what players should go where. It's all in conversation. It's all what we think. My opinion on Mandy Rose is not that she is the best, most talented chick in that locker room. And I say chick with no disrespect, man. Okay? Because I call guys dudes. Do you see what I'm saying? No disrespect, man. And no disrespect to the fact that I don't think Mandy Rose is the best worker I've ever seen. Now, she's light years better than Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans on her best day couldn't lace Mandy's boots on her worst day. Boom. Like that? There you go. So, my opinion, my take. So, I don't know if I'm great with Asuka having this, but you know what? It is what it is, man. This is the direction they're going. And all roads supposedly lead to Asuka versus Evans at WrestleMania. Yawn, okay, is all I can say to that. So we'll see what happens. Asuka will retain, Rebecca says. I believe so as well. Ronnie says upset. Mandy Rose wins. Interesting, Ronnie. Ronnie bringing the heat today. Someone just said rest in peace. Chris says rest in peace, King Kong Bunny and Dick Beyer. I was going to get to these guys later in the show. Let's take a click and just mention both of them. Legends in the business, Dick Beyer especially. it can't be overstated what an important day and what an important moment it is for fans when you feel like you lose one of your own, especially if you grew up watching these guys on TV through the years and, they're heroes, they're larger than life. But at the end of the day, they're real people with real problems and real physical health issues and real worries and wants and desires and dreams and hopes, just like you and I have, folks, and real kids and real families and real medical conditions and real bills to pay. And it's a big deal. And so for both these gentlemen to pass away, Bundy was only 61 and Byer was 88, I believe. Shame. It's a shame. It's a sad day for the pro wrestling business and for both these guys' families. All condolences, deepest condolences to the families and friends and fans of both men. They will be sorely missed. There you go. Okay, so Toby just says Sonya Deville versus Asuka would be better. I'm not sold on Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville to me is the poor man's Ronda Rousey. Ha! Sorry. And she would definitely take disrespect to that, I'm sure. You guys know I'm talking about the character, not the person. I hope you guys always know I'm not talking about the person. Now, again, as we've said before, ask the person in question if they believe that disrespect was meant. I'm sure they'd have a different take on it. But no disrespect is meant. I just don't care for the character. I don't care for this pseudo MMA stuff that she does. I'm not buying it. She's not showing me anything. Whose fault is that? Is that Sonya's fault or WWE's fault for not allowing her the opportunity to show what she can really do? Just allow her to truly cut loose in a match and do her thing. That's my take. Thank you, JD. Do you think Kofi first stands being saved for WrestleMania? Chris, yes, I do. WrestleMania 35, I believe. I don't think it'll be a triple threat with Kevin Owens involved. It could be, but I do believe Kofi will get another shot. We'll see how it goes. But it was a great heel back in the day. Yes, Jimmy, absolutely was. Hey, man, I'm not going to hate on Ronda. Ronda's a businesswoman. She's doing her job. She's doing her job right now, man. We'll talk about her in a bit, but yeah, she's just playing her part. That's what she's doing. She's doing an excellent job at it, too. Naman, you and me both, my friend, as far as being concerned with EC3's main roster career. So, who you got, Asuka versus Mandy Rose? You guys should know at a house show this week. Excuse me, I got choked up. You guys should know at a house show this week, at a SmackDown Live event, that Asuka got dropped on her head. I've seen the video after it happened, not of the actual move, so I don't even know what the move was. But she got dropped on her head, on her neck. And Mandy Rose, because it's, you worry about the other person, you want to be sure they're okay. Mandy stayed in the ring and just stayed there and just stared a hole through her and didn't want to leave as Asuka was being helped. And I'm sitting there thinking, get out of the ring, Mandy. You're a heel. You're supposed to want Asuka to be hurt. But, that's the old school Tom coming at you, wanting kayfabe to make a comeback. Never going to happen. Is what it is. It's whatever. But I'm old school. I'm thinking the heel should have said, yeah, screw her, and then bail out, powder out, and get out of the ring. Flip off the fans on the way out. Not going to do that. So, like I said, take it with a grain of salt. Asuka came on to Twitter, I think within the hour, maybe 30 minutes after this happened, and said, I'm fine. It's all good. No worries. So, that's not the official word, mind you. But if there was a concussion, if there was any chance she wasn't going to be there at Fastlane, we would have known by now. We are 2 days out, after all. What's up, Jimmy? Welcome to the show. Paul says, don't see a chance that Rose wins. Having said that, Vince puts a tile on her. Yeah, you're probably right, Paul. I wouldn't doubt that at all. Nothing surprises me. Listen, this is coming from the hypocrite in the room, because I am a hypocrite when it comes to some of this stuff. I will give a nice little sermon and tell you how you shouldn't stress over stuff that comes out of WWE. I've been known to do it. I've done it. And every time I do it, once I calm down, I'm like, you just got upset over a company that kind of forgot how to do pro wrestling the right way. Why are you so upset? Don't be stupid. And then I get mad with myself because I was stupid. So there you are. But yeah, like I said, try not to stress too much. It is what it is. They are who they are, and they're not going to change. What was it Herm Edwards said? They are who we thought they are. That's what WWE is, man. No surprises there at all. So let's see. All right, let's go ahead and stay with the card here, folks. We got a few questions popping up here and there. It's all good. We'll get back to them in due time. The women's tag team champions, Sasha Banks and Bayley. It's boss time. I'm not going to do it as loud as Cole would burst your eardrum. We don't want that, folks. We want everyone to be okay. No one gets hurt on my show. No botched moves here. So, versus Nia Jax and Tamina. If you want to see Jax and Tamina win, I don't really know what to say to you. Do I think they will? Nothing would surprise me. Do I believe they will? No, I don't. Just me talking. So, Sasha and Bayley showed up at an NXT live event last night, actually. And they're really heavily teasing defending the titles in NXT. They're going to do it eventually. I don't know against who. I would guess 2 of the 4 horsewomen, probably Shafir and Duke. And then that would eventually lead to, woo, right? I'm not going to do that. Burst your eardrum as well. Plus, my impression of Flair, the original Flair, is not the best that you've ever heard, but whose is, honestly. So, we'll see what happens with that. But I don't see Bayley and Sasha losing the straps. I'm still not sold on Nia. And again, as we said not 5 minutes ago, all that stuff about, no disrespect intended and all that stuff. The fact of the matter is, I don't have really anything positive to say about Nia. I got challenged last week by somebody watching the show here that challenged me on the Tamina aspect of the Tamina part of the team and said, Tamina's so good in the ring. Okay. But a lot of guys and gals have been really good in the ring and have no charisma. Lance Storm. Steve Blackman, remember that guy? Dean Malenko, fantastic Dean Malenko. No charisma at all. It is what it is. I'm not comparing Tamina to those two guys. Don't misunderstand. There's a world difference between those two guys and Tamina. No doubt about it. But at the same time, that's kind of where my head's at during all this. So I don't see it like some people see it with her. Let's see. Tamina is one of the worst women's wrestlers I've ever seen. No mic skills and not athletic at all. Love Superfly though. Well, there you go. Boston Hood Connection. Too early to lose the title, especially the response they got returning to NXT with the belts. And you know what I like about this? I like the fact that Bayley's getting cheered again. It does my heart good. You want to know why? Because Bayley's a good person. Bayley's a good person. Of all the people that you would look at and say, she's got a motive. You know what I mean? And maybe that's not fair because Bayley's never really been heel before. So, kind of like Steamboat, where you could say, Steamboat's a good guy. Maybe I'm preconditioned to believe that. Maybe you are as well. But she's never struck me as I'm here for something other than I just want to wrestle. Becky struck me that as well. I just want to work. I just want to wrestle. All that stuff about getting over and being the champion and being in the main event and doing this, that, and the other. She just doesn't strike me that way. I think Bayley's thing is I just want to wrestle. And so does Becky. I get that from Sasha too. However, in my humble opinion, I think when 5-10 years down the road when these ladies have moved on, I think Sasha will have the career outside of WWE. And that's not to suggest that she's in it for the wrong reasons. I don't believe she is. There have been women in the past that have been in it for the wrong reasons, folks. Number one, because the company wasn't giving them enough to do, because they didn't treat women with any kind of respect in the ring at all, okay? But number two, the women just kind of said, well, I'll do this wrestling thing for a bit, make my name, and then go out and make more money off my name somewhere else. I don't see that coming from any of the original 4 horsewomen, but I'm just telling you right now, I believe, in my humble opinion, of the 4 horsewomen that exist right now, and I think that Sasha would be the one to have the career outside of WWE, though I'm sure Charlotte will as well. There you go. Jenna says Bayley's first character reminds me of me because she loves. There you go. There you go. See, you can find a way to connect. Find a way to connect, man. If you find a way to connect. Robbie says Bayley has a girl next door quality. Fans like, oh my God, Rob, absolutely, man. And there you go. You find a way to connect, and that's why you support folks, and that's why you want to see them do well, which is why people want to see Finn do well. People always wanted to see Zack Ryder do well. Zack Ryder's a little eccentric, okay? This grown man loves boy bands. I got a problem with that, I'm saying, because I hate that crap. But people still want to see Zack do well because he's so likable, because he's just a regular guy. He really is. But that's why that a lot of these guys and gals get such a great support system backing them up, because fans look at them and they see something in them that they see in themselves. Like was it Jenna earlier said she saw? She sees something of herself in Bayley. That's sort of how the connection begins, how it grows from there. Joe says, do you see Carmella not getting a push because of the Corey Graves rumor? No, I don't, Joe. I'll be honest with you. I think they just don't have anything for her to do at the moment. I'm not saying it's a career-altering thing. I just think that it's one of those moments where she doesn't have much to do. She's on TV all the time with Truth. That's got to count for something. I know what you're thinking. It's our Truth. First of all, don't be throwing shade at Truth. I love me some Truth. Truth is awesome. Okay. And as far as Carmella being with him all the time, it puts her on TV, right? It's got her on SmackDown. It gets her on pay-per-views, on monthly events. It's good. This is all good. Okay, it's good for her. Let's see. Okay, so let's move on with the card. Paul says Bayley and Sasha great workers, horrendous on the microphone. I disagree with that, Paul, to a certain extent. I'm not saying either one of them. When you listen to those two cut promo, you're in no danger of mistaking them for Rick and Dusty. 100% right. Can't argue that. But as far as them not being good on the mic or proficient in the slightest, I have a problem with that because I don't agree with that at all. Just me talking. All right, folks, we've got another tag team championship match to talk about here today. SmackDown Tag Team Championships, the Usos versus The Miz and Shane McMahon. Okay, so what do we think about The Miz and Shane McMahon? People have suggested that Shane is not going to turn on Miz after all, that the boat has sailed, the ship has sailed already. I don't agree with that. I think the turn is coming. To what extent, I don't know. It kind of seems silly for Shane to come out and turn now. Shane could always say, listen, you admitted that you used me. I'm a McMahon. No one uses me and gets away with it. No one uses me, period, and lives to talk about it. I'm a McMahon, by God, pal, and that's who I am. If they want to go that route, nothing would surprise me. Why? Because it's WWE. What we said before, man. This is WWE. What do we say? That's who they are. Nothing would shock me. Wouldn't shock me if Shane put him through 3 flaming tables and put his dad through 1, 2. He's not going to do that. Just saying. Nothing would surprise me. The McMahons get over. McMahons always get over. You guys know that, right? Even when a talent gets over on them, they're going to get back over on someone else. That's the ebb and flow of that company. The McMahon family always has to be on top. Always. It'll never change. When the grandkids come up through the system, it'll the same way. Give another 5-10 years, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And you heard it here first. They're going to be exactly the same spots that their grandparents and their parents are in now. Absolutely, man. This is never going to end. It's never going to end. Okay? Never going to end. We're in for a lot more of this. Buckle up, kids. It's going to be an interesting ride. Good morning, Miss Lopez. Your daughter is sick. Everyone wish Miss Lopez a belated birthday. Her birthday was 2 days ago, I think. Happy birthday, Miss Lopez. Hope your kid gets better really soon. Naman says a Boss and Hug connection, the worst tag team ever. A tag team name ever. I 100% agree with that, man. 100% agree with that. Terrible. Let's see. Ronnie says everyone acts like Becky's act of the man has to do with Stone Cold. Remember Flair to be the man. I think that is the man. Yeah, okay, I get you. We're going to get to Becky here shortly. Hold on there, kids. We're going to get to her. So, do you have anything emotionally invested, I guess is the question when it comes to Shane tagging together once again with Miz in Cleveland, Shane's hometown, with his dad in the front row? Do you care about this at all? Be honest. Do you really care? Do you care because you like both of them? You can care for that. It's fine. Do you care because you enjoy to see the Usos in the ring? I do too. Do I care for any other reason than that? Nah. The Miz at his core is a very shallow character. And it doesn't matter what they do with him. They've made him a fan. Well, they didn't make him. He's a family man, got a baby, got another one on the way, right? She's pregnant again, right? It's not Brie, right? So it's all good. It's all good. He's a family man. And I've never watched Ms. and Mrs., but supposedly the show is highly entertaining. And he's a hoot, as the older folks would tell you. He's a hoot. So, but here's the deal. His character, as I said before, is shallow at best. There's nothing really there. There's no meat to it. Hard to connect with a guy that is as shallow as the Miz's character is. You can turn him babyface all day. All right. Here's the problem with that. You turn him babyface, you didn't change his character. You threw in the stuff about him being a family man, but yet you also feel the need for him to get on the mic and explain every other promo how he's been in WWE for X number of years. He busts his hump all the time. He always shows up. He never gets hurt. He's the workhorse. That's great, guys. But Cena cut the same promo for 10 years. Okay? And you got sick of that. I believe people are sick of the Miz's promo. Not so much in how he delivers it, but the fact that there's just something about it that you don't connect to. I want Miz for just 1 second to not be the character. And I don't know if he can separate at this point. Maybe he can't. I've hung around wrestlers in their 60s, okay, who've been doing this for 40 years or more. And they're so into that you can't separate character from because they've melded together. That they just you can't talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's in a pro wrestling setting, you can't talk to them. They are the character. So maybe that's the case. Maybe that's what's going on with Miz. But I for once want to see Miz just be like, listen, I come out here all the time. I talk about how I have the it factor. I'm a Hollywood star. The truth is, my movies went direct to DVD. But you know what? I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the fact that I got to do something different. I enjoy being on camera. And you know what? I didn't see anybody else in this company jumping up to do that. So I said, I'll do it myself. You know what I mean? I would love to see that WWE wants to get real. Oh, we're gonna shoot. Let's get real on the fake pro wrestling. We'll get into that. Trust me. Be real with Miz. Give me 2 minutes of the Miz being real, and he'll make more fans and get more support than he's ever had in that company. Whether or not it's going to happen, I don't know. Karen, top of the morning to you, my dear, as well. Thank you for hanging out. Larry says, I remember liking Miz at one time, but it's been years. I think a lot of people probably agree with that. So, do we care about this match? I think we all agree Shane's going to turn on Miz in front of his father, humiliate him, embarrass him in front of the whole world. And then it'll be Shane and Miz at WrestleMania for whatever reason. God knows only why. Karen, thank you. Awesome. Karen's a fan. There you go. I have this thing going on. I've had this for a long time. The red stuff. Isn't that weird? Now we're going to talk about Tom's skin. As a man gets older, stuff tends to start going a little funky. Okay? I'm just saying. And I got too much gray. I got more gray than I ever wanted in my entire stupid life. So I'm not so vain that I've dyed it. I just can't bring myself to do it. That's me. I don't begrudge anyone doing that. But when it comes to men, like women, but when it comes to men, nah, that's just me. Just me. Jay says KO Stunner loved it. There you go. What do you think about AEW? Jimmy, we talked about AEW a bunch here. I think I want more stuff to talk about. Montrese, welcome to the show. Everyone's favorite Tom Clark's Main Event viewer is here. Don't no one get jealous about that because Montrese got a great name. Okay? Straight up. Montrese, what is up? How are you doing today? Go full Steve Blackman. Oh my God, Paul. You mean like the straight black Eric Bischoff? That's what I should do. Straight black. Remember when they shaved his head and it came back and it was gray? And Vince goes, you dye your hair, don't you? It's funny. Let's see. Jeff, well, good point, bro. Jeff says, I earned all my gray. Holler. I like that. Cordell says, they give Kofi a shot. I believe they will. Rob says, look at the $1 Million Man. Everyone has a price. Documentary showed a whole other side than just the money he found God. Well, good point. You know, deepen it, folks. Deepen the character. Make people care. 100%. Excited about Sunday. Hopefully a good show. Montrese, I agree with you 100%. I think it will be. We've talked a little bit about it already. I think Fastlane is going to be much better than what anybody believes it's going to be. We're halfway through the card right now. So, let's see. What else we got going on? Cena versus Joe at Mania. That's the rumor, Ray. I wouldn't be surprised. I've not watched Captain Marvel in the Mon. I'm going to go today. I'm excited. So there you go. Can't wait. It's a Marvel film, so you know I'm going to be there. That's how I roll, yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next match, folks. We've talked about Usos, Miz, and Shane already. Let's get to the reunion. The Hounds of Justice, The Shield, getting back together once again for the 9th time. I'm just making that up. It's not been 9 times. Versus Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley. This is the part of the show where everyone looks at me and says, I'm sick of Baron Corbin. I can't take it anymore. Well, neither can I. Yeah. Jim says, congratulations to Joe on his first WWE title run. 100%. I'm not tired of it. To me, the Shield reunion is not meaningless, folks. And here's why it's not meaningless, okay? Dean's wrapping up. Unless something changes. We talked about this earlier. Unless something changes. Dean's wrapping up at the end of April, okay? Which means he's done. This may be the last Shield reunion with Dean as a member of the WWE roster full time. This may be it for a while, okay? I think it's important for that reason. And, you know, as much as I don't care for Corbin, and I don't, as much as I think Lashley's been underutilized, and as Drew, and they have, they're on TV each and every week. And whether you like them together or not, whether you love Baron Corbin or not, and I don't, Fact of the matter is, they're putting their time in. They're putting in the bumps. They're putting in the sweat equity, as it were. If you're going to put 3 guys against a reuniting Shield, I mean, this is the route you go. Is it going to make for the best match you've ever seen? Probably not. Does it matter? Probably not. I think it'll still be entertaining, and I think it'll still be fun. So, let's see. Brian says, first time viewer so far. Do you think Undertaker will be part of WrestleMania? Brian, my God, Brian, what took you so long, dude? This is the happening place. This is where all the cool kids come, Brian. Consider yourself a cool kid now, because you are hanging out on Tom Clark's main event, and for that, you get that. Boom. There you go. To people just listening to the show that didn't watch it or didn't watch it, you don't know what just happened. See what you're missing by not watching live? There you go. So far, Taker's not booked. Now, however, I've said this 100 times before. All Taker has to do, and I'll use the remote as a prop. All Taker has to do is pull out his phone and text Vince and say, "What's up, boss? Think I'm ready." Done. Okay? They'll find him someone to work. Relax. And you know what? At this point, Taker should have a 5-minute quick squash against somebody. Just get him on the card. I don't care. But at some point, I think Taker's last WrestleMania should be announced. I think it should be, this is Taker's last WrestleMania. This is it. He's riding off into the sunset. Give it meaning. I think it would have more meaning if they announced it. That's me. Chris says it's your first time. Chris, there you go, my friend. You're hanging out with cool kids as well. We're going to move on with the show here, folks. But real quick, as an update to anyone listening to the show or watching the show right now, if we're not friends on Facebook, send me a message in Wrestling Rumors Instant Messenger and tell me that you want a friend request. I'll send you one. You can go look me up if you want to. It's a lot easier for me to look you up than me to look you up. Thank you very much. Easy for me to say because it takes a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm lazy. Help a brother out. So there you go. You can also follow me on Twitter at Tom Clark Writes, WRITS, and I will follow you back. There you go. Back to the show. Montrese says Undertaker deserves a retirement. I agree with that. An official retirement, Montrese. Well said. One that's advertised and the kids can come out and so the wife can support him and all that good stuff. And I absolutely need to do that. Jenna says we need clarity with the Undertaker. Do we need closure? Is that what you mean? We need closure? I agree with that. 100%. Spoiler alert, Dean turns on Roman to set up Mania match. I just don't see it. You know why, Donald? And I wouldn't have been against that had Dean never turned. Had Dean never turned, I wouldn't have been telling you that you're wrong. In my opinion, you're wrong, and here's why. And they're against WWE, they can do whatever they want, right? But in my opinion, it would be anticlimactic now. It's a second turn in less than a year, and no one would care. Do you know what I mean? It would set the match up, but who would care after that? Do you know what I mean? Because it's obvious Roman would win. There's no drama leading into that. If Seth weren't already facing Brock, I say send the Shield out on another triple threat or on another 6-man tag at WrestleMania. Just let that be the end of it, but that's me. Promote a retirement match against Sting and both be done. Brian, Ray, send me the thing in Wrestling Rumors Instant Messenger, sir, please. Because it'll be hard for me to go back and find you through all the chaos that goes on through the comments. So, thank you. Yeah, I've wanted Sting versus Taker for years since they were both riding high in WCW and WWE. Never happened. WWE didn't let it happen. It's their fault that it didn't happen. They are to blame. No one else. WWE had both of them in the house at WrestleMania 30 on the night that Bryan won the championship. Have I got my timing right? Or WrestleMania 31? I can't remember. And they didn't pull the trigger. It's their fault. They couldn't even be bothered to have both guys have a face-to-face confrontation in the middle of the ring in their full gear. Couldn't happen. Didn't do it. It's dumb. The ship has sailed, in my humble opinion. Do I want to see it? If they could both go, yeah. I'm not convinced they could both go anymore. Just my take, my humble opinion, out of a mutual deep respect for both men. But yes. Hello, Steve. Welcome. Thank you for the great comment, man. Appreciate that. Maybe Roman and Dean help Seth beat Brock. Yeah, maybe. But why? Why? Because if Seth can't do it on his own, he's not the man, right? Seth needs to be able to do this on his own. Now, if Brock had help to interfere and Dean and Roman came out to stop that, but Brock doesn't need any help. The biggest asset Brock Lesnar has besides that F5 and Paul Heyman is Vince McMahon. Straight up. There you go. So, Montrese, you're right about that. That is a dream match. Do I want to see Triple H versus Batista at WrestleMania? Sure, we're going to see it. No doubt about it. Stefan, yes? Welcome to the show. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today, of course, obviously. Jessica says she's met Steve Moore many times and said there'll be a dream match for him. I'm sure he has. And guess what, Jessica? Don't blame Steve. Blame Vince. His fault. Period. I say that with a bit of resentment in my voice. Did you notice? Did you hear that? Sorry, it needed to happen. It didn't happen. It's his fault. It is. You bring Sting in, the first guy you put him against is Triple H. Triple H, who in the biggest moments post the game career of being the top guy, he wins. Not all of them, but who put CM Punk in his place when he should have lost? Triple H. Okay? Think about that for a second. I still haven't got over that one, folks. Sorry, I just haven't. But yeah, it should have been Taker and Sting. That's a whole other podcast. We got to move on, man. I'm just talking this thing to death, aren't I? I think the Shield goes over, obviously. What are they going to set up for Roman at WrestleMania? Don't know. Maybe it'll be set up this night. Don't know. Could be set up on Raw the next night. Wouldn't be surprised. But either way, I think the Shield goes over. We got 2 matches left, folks, and then we can talk about whatever you want. Here's the good one. They're both good. Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. If Becky wins, folks, then we get a triple threat Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania main event, Jack. WrestleMania main event for the women. Hallelujah. Okay? So, in case you have been living under a rock for the past 12 hours or so, let's see. Mike says, what means more to a superstar going into Mania as the champ or become the champ at Mania? Mike, it depends on the superstar, I believe. I think that's a very subjective question, a very open-ended question. Depends on the superstar themselves, what they personally want. That's what I think. I can tell you what I think. It doesn't really matter. I'm not the guy in the ring. But I think it just depends on what the superstar in question wants. Ronnie says Becky will win. 100% absolutely. Jeff says he's tired of triple threats. You and me both, my friend. Carlos, yes, I do see Becky going over WrestleMania 35. So again, unless you've not been listening, maybe you've slept in the past 12 hours, like some of us got a little bit of sleep, got that much. Ronda Rousey on her social media, on her YouTube channel, on her video blog that she does every week on Raw, which they allow her to bring a camera and record stuff on Raw and backstage. Wow, what a deal she got there. Went on a profanity-laced tirade against WWE and its fans. It's some intense stuff, folks. And I haven't done this. I don't think I've ever done this before, but I'm going to do it today. Please feel free. You don't have to do it right now, obviously, but please, when you get a chance after the show is over, maybe go check out WrestleRumors.net. The title is Ronda Rousey tears into WWE and the fans. Has the Raw Women's Champion gone too far? The video is included in the column. I wrote this sucker this morning. And here we go, folks. Of course, it will be censored, sanitized for your protection. And here's what I got for you. I'm going to read you a little soundbite here. I'm not going to let you hear the soundbite. I'm going to read out the transcription. She was asked about the promo she cut on the March 4th edition of Raw where she turned heel and then attacked Becky and Charlotte. She says it wasn't a promo. They gave me other things to say and I didn't effing say it. It's not a promo. It's not an act. I'm not going out there and doing their effing act anymore. They can say it's part of the act to save face to everyone else, but it's not an act. I'm going out there and I'm doing whatever the H I want. F them. Everybody. WWE Universe included. I meant that. I'm going to disrespect the sport they love so much. Oh, don't break kayfabe, Ronda. Wrestling's scripted. It's made up. It's not real. None of those effers, I think, can effing touch me. The end. Boy, Ronda sure likes the F-bomb, doesn't she? So Ronda is triggered, as the kids say, and she decided to go. She decided to go all nuts on her social media. She's getting a laughable reaction from the way I'm gauging it. She's getting 2 reactions right now. She's getting the "How dare you? We love the business. Who do you think you are?" And she's also getting the "Oh my God, this is terrible." I don't know where you guys come down on this. I don't have any idea. I can tell you what I think. And then I'll start reading your comments. Be patient with me here for a sec. So here's what I think. Ronda's in character. I don't believe at all that Ronda Rousey is saying anything that WWE doesn't know that she's going to say. Just my opinion. I would be shocked to find out that she is, operating of her own accord. Going into business for herself, as it were, as the old saying goes. I just don't believe that. I think that she's a businesswoman. I think she'll do what's best for business. I think Ronda has too much respect and love for WWE and for the pro wrestling business to do anything other than what she's asked to do. I don't think she's gone into business for herself. I don't believe that one bit. Okay? I think she's fully in character the whole time. That's what I think. And I think that, at the end of the day, she's doing what's best for business and what's best for the storyline. The storyline right now dictates that she be a nasty heel, which is exactly what she's going to be. Vincent says, I like the new and improved Ronda. Well, there you go. Jason says, I've seen her act. This will be her finest performance. Toby says, I love heel Ronda. Great. I'm glad to see this because I saw some reactions this morning and late last night. They were not positive at all. So this is cool. Trying to bring in a bigger viewership to make more money. Ronda will still lose and leave. And Ronnie's going to do the right thing for business. You like that? There you go. Ronda's going to do the right thing for business. And if business dictates that she leaves on her back, she'll go out on her back staring up at the lights. That's what a pro would do, okay? And she'll do that. She'll do the right thing because she's Ronda Rousey, and she should, and she loves the business. And think about this. I wrote a column this morning. The column I just read to you, that little tidbit from it. Who was her mentor going into pro wrestling? Wasn't Natty. It was Roddy Piper. Okay, Roddy Piper was her mentor. Let's don't forget that. He gave her his blessing. The family gave her their blessing to use the jacket, to use the name, the kilt, the whole nine. Okay, that's a big deal. And Ronda knows. She knows how to do business, folks, for sure. And it just makes sense that she's in full blown heel mode right now. I'm down with it, 100%. Jim says now it's a good time to put her with Heyman. People still talking about that, but here's the problem, Jim. It would last like 10 minutes because supposedly Ronda's leaving. Now, it doesn't mean the day after WrestleMania she's gone. But what if it does? If it does, then she's done. We'll see what happens. Jenna says that she thinks she's accomplished everything in MMA, and now that wrestling fans are turning on her, she doesn't like it. It could be. And honestly, Jenna, this is where the lines between fiction and reality get blurred. And it happens all the time. And WWE is intentionally blurring them now, but it's doing it all up in your face and making you look at it and smell it. That, you know what I mean? Look what we're doing. Because they have a sudden fascination with going on live TV, going on social media, on the network, what have you, talking about wrestling is fake. Excuse me. I'm against that. But there again, Tom's old school. Maybe it doesn't mean anything to anyone else, but I hate it. Just me talking. It's the cheapest amount of heat you can get. But at this point, the only amount of heat that company can really generate is by going and blurring the lines between fiction and reality, because they've butchered their own product to the point where it's nearly unrecognizable, and you can't really compare it to a pro wrestling presentation anymore. You can try. It's a lot of similarities. There's music, there's a ring, there's boots. But other than that, So, no disrespect to the men and women putting their bodies on the line. I got mad respect for all of them. I'm not lying about that. You guys know. But at the same time, WWE has butchered its own product to the point where it's nearly unrecognizable, as we said, and they have to do something to generate heat. The only way to do it is to stick it to you. That's what they're doing. So there you go. Ronda and Becky are breaking kayfabe on Twitter. Naman, don't be surprised, my friend, if they've been tweeting to each other, messaging each other through the entire process and saying, hey, listen, I'm going to go at you. Let's have fun. Don't be surprised if that's the truth. And you know what? The point of this is that it is entertaining. If it's entertaining, that's all that matters. If you're getting something out of this, if you're connecting to it, if you want to see these two lock up, then it's working. Of course it's working, and it should work. That's how it should be. So yeah, have fun with it. Jason says, calling it. Becky wins at Mania, pinning Charlotte. Ronda-Becky feud till SummerSlam. Becky wins clean and gains respect. I don't think it'll last till SummerSlam, Jason, but I think you're right. Rousey wants to start a family. That's the rumor, Jeff. That's what she said more than one time. So the match between Becky and Charlotte will be good. I don't know why Becky continues to sell the knee as if she just, broke the kneecap. But all of a sudden, Monday, after she didn't have the crutch on her arm anymore, she could walk perfectly fine. Did you catch that? It's whatever. If you're asking yourself how much of this will work, how much of this is work, how much is a shoot, Becky did not cover up. Becky allowed herself to be beat down. Becky hesitated. When Ronda first led into her, Ronda grabbed the crutch. Instead of using the crutch as a heel probably would, she threw the crutch to the side. And when she did that, there was hesitation on Becky's part because Becky was feeding for her. So none of that was a shoot. It was all a work. Now, Becky, I'm sure, told Ronda before they ever got out there, you better lay it in. Lay it in. If you're going to beat me down on live TV, you better lay it in. And I've been in pro wrestling locker rooms before where the comment has been made between two guys you'll never meet because they never went anywhere in this business because they only did this on the weekends. But they loved what they were doing and they were freaking good at it, by the way. But I heard the comments more than one time between a colorful cast of characters. Listen, when we get out there, you better make this look good. You better hit me. You better tag me. If you don't tag me, I will tag you back for real. So that's the key. Make it look good. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Bit asking about another podcast on Sunday for Fastlane. I can't do it before Fastlane, but I may go live during the show. If you guys are interested in that, if you're down with it, let me know what you think. I'm more than happy to give that a shot during the live broadcast. Danny says they definitely have us talking about it. Boy, you're right about that. Okay, folks, we got one more match. It is the title match. WWE Champion Daniel Bryan defending against Kevin Owens. And to answer everybody's question that's been hitting me, if I haven't answered already to your satisfaction, let me hit you with this. Yes, I think Kofi will get a shot at WrestleMania 35. It does not, however, mean he's going to, okay? It's just my take. I think that there was a lot of work done to put Kofi over as the single star, as the veteran that never got his fair due, got his fair shake. And I think that at some point, yes, he will get another opportunity. And I believe it could be a one-on-one match at WrestleMania 35. Would not be surprised if it's triple threat with Owens included. The reason I say that is, where does Owens go from here if he doesn't win the title and Kofi gets back in? See what I'm saying? He's got to have something to do. I would love to see Kofi with the strap, and I think Daniel will be fine with that as well, as long as it made sense, and as long as it was good for business and good for everybody involved. Daniel's a pro just like Ronda is, folks. You guys know that, right? So whatever's best and whatever's logical and makes the most sense, let's make those things happen, okay? Of course, all that stuff going on in the middle of WWE and a company that's notorious for not doing the right thing in our eyes. Let's put it that way. Montrese says, I hope Kofi gets a shot. Yes, dear. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. My bad. Yeah, Gene says, go live. I will do all I can to go live. Andrew Thomas says, watching alone on Sunday. So my kid goes to school, right? So talking about watching alone. I'll be up here if I do this, of course. I'll go live up here in the office. And my kid has a bedtime of 9 o'clock. So I might do a little bit before he goes to bed. I don't know. We'll see. Because, my kid, he loves to be on camera. He's a camera hog, man. That's who he is. He's a ham. Timothy says Kevin Owens is a babyface. How's that striking you right now? KO being all warm and soft and cuddly. It's kind of weird, isn't it? I don't know how I feel about that. It feels forced. Because he's not used to doing it, especially not in WWE. I just don't know how I feel about it. Ugh, you know what I mean? I'm kind of to the whole thing. Not saying it couldn't grow on me, but right now it's not. I'm not feeling it. I'm waiting on any moment in time for him to suddenly go and lose his mind and snap on someone and be the KO of old, where he's sweating profusely and pulling his hair out because he just lost a match. But, maybe I'm wrong and he'll become the hottest babyface SmackDown scene since AJ Styles. I don't know, man. Yeah, other people are saying they hate KO as a babyface for sure. Yep. Hello, Anthony, Kentucky. Anthony, have you missed the whole show? Jeez. Oh, Jason says KO's going to win. Well, Jason, how about this? Jason, thank you for that comment, by the way. How about KO does win the title and then Kofi beats KO at WrestleMania? Interesting. I'd go for that. But then what do you do with Daniel? Daniel's worked too hard. Came back. He deserves another WrestleMania moment. A good one, by the way. Yeah, what'd you do there? Jason says his mic skills are so good, needs to stay heel. A lot of people bring that back or agree with that for sure. Dave says bring back Jericho. Jericho's signed with AEW, my friend. He's not coming back to WWE anytime soon for sure. Daniel is great on the mic, Darren. Thank you very much. I agree with that. So, folks, there you have it. There is your Fastlane preview. Wasn't that fun? This hour flew by. We'll take the last few minutes of the show here. We'll take a few minutes and we'll talk about some stuff, whatever you guys want to talk about. You guys have some Fastlane-related questions or stuff about AEW or New Japan, whatever you want to talk about. Hit me with a few. We'll take a few before we take the show home today, and then it's off to the races with your boy here going to see Captain Marvel today. I'll be taking the kid with me, and so he should have a blast. That'll be awesome. But let's get a few in before we go. No news on Luke Harper. Danny, not sure what's going on with him. Last I heard, he was recovering from injury. We'll see what happens. Kofi Daniel KO in a ladder match. Ooh, I could buy that for $1 all day long. Lynn is asking about Alicia Fox. So the story going around right now is that Alicia Fox showed up intoxicated and worked a match at a live event, and Arn let her do it. Supposedly Arn was the producer for that match, and he didn't say no. Here's the thing. Did they have a breathalyzer backstage? I don't know. Did she reek of alcohol? I can't answer any of these questions because I don't know it wasn't there. But I'll tell you this. If Arn Anderson, a veteran in this business, if his judgment was called into question and he was wrong, then yeah, they probably let him go for the right reasons. At least she could have hurt herself or someone else. And at the very least, embarrass the product, which, there you go. I know you're rolling your eyes that Tom is suggesting that it'd be embarrass itself. You know, blowing up Vince in a limo and sex with a dead girl in a casket. Well, I haven't forgotten, baby. I never will, okay? But that's the rumor, Danny. That's the rumor why it was let go. It's a rumor. I don't know this for sure. That's the story that I was told. So, Rose injuring Asuka. Yeah, we talked about that, Miss Lopez, earlier on the show, I think. It was. So, it was inadvertent. I don't know if she got dropped on her head or her neck, but supposedly she's fine. It was her back that was hurt, but she's okay, is what she says. As of right now, this moment, she's still defending the championship at Fastlane. Toby, am I surprised the rise? Thank you, Toby, for a New Japan question, my friend. I'm a bit surprised. However, it's totally understandable. New Japan needed to create a new superstar. Did they fast track Jay? Yes. But did Jay have a good foundation to get on that fast track? Yes. He was an overnight success, folks. Jay's been doing this for a while, and he's acclimating very well. If you go back and listen to Jay's interview on Chris Jericho's podcast, smart guy, smart kid. He really is. And got his head on straight, got the right priorities. He knows what he's doing out there. He's a great fit for them. And they needed to plan for the future. New Japan has to evolve, just as WWE, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground, if they ever come back, you know what I mean. You got to evolve or die in this business. You got to keep moving forward. Always forward, forward always. So there you go. By the way, I love the new Jay White Bullet Club, man. I'm all about it. I dig it. He says what he's going to do. He goes and does it. I'm digging it. No, Anthony Vince did not buy out AEW. I don't know where these stories come from. No, sir, he did not. Well, I want EC3 to go to AEW. It would be amazing. Oh, Jason said I want to do a podcast because I don't know the guy. Whoever Ron Funches is, no disrespect. I'm sure the guy's got viewers and got a fan base without me. I'm sure he doesn't need me in the mix. If anyone knows him, tell him about me. I'd be glad to do something with him, but I don't think it's going to happen. Just me talking. So EC3, he's with WWE, man. He's with WWE. He's not going to go to AEW. He could, I guess. Anything could happen, but Miss Lopez says champ again next surgery. It is sad, Miss Lopez, but at the same time, we've talked before on the show many times in the past about the fact that this business takes a toll on your body. It's a dangerous line of work, as you all know. One wrong move and you're dead. Just to put it bluntly. Not to be a downer, but it's the truth. And, you know, Ciampa knew the risk getting in. He knows the risk every day he gets in the ring. Having said that, I agree with you 110%. It is a shame. And I want to see him back just as quickly as you guys do. So, yeah, hopefully it'll happen sooner rather than later. Jason says, I bet he knows your podcast. He's a huge wrestling fan. Well, I don't know, man. Maybe so. I'll look him up. You know, we'll see. AJ's contract situation, Donald. So, Donald, this changes as the wind blows because people from my end of this business say, AJ Styles just signed a contract. Newsflash. AJ Styles goes on Twitter and says, I did. It's news to me. So, don't believe everything you read. Don't believe everything you hear. Until it's officially confirmed by AJ Styles or someone very close to him or the company itself, I wouldn't believe a thing that I heard about AJ right now. That's just me talking. I'd love to see him go back to WWE. What's he got left to do? I don't know. I still think he book AJ Styles versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 35. The Phenom against the Phenomenal One. I said it last week. I stick to it. To me, that's the match for Taker. He'll come back for that. And AJ would love it. Are you kidding? So now, who will win the NXT title now that Johnny Wrestling Black Ricochet has been called up? I still believe it'll be Adam Cole. Just my take. Hello, Victor. So send me a message on Wrestling Rumors Instant Messenger. Or you can go look me up. Look up Tom Clark, and I'll be, hey, my kid's picture, my avatar is my kid's picture in front of the big New Japan symbol, the logo. Plan for Cena Mania now that Kofi is fighting Brian. Samoa Joe perhaps. Mike, that's the rumor, and I believe it, and I think it should happen. Samoa Joe's mentioned him. Samoa Joe and John came up in the business together. Maybe not best buds, but you know what I mean. At the same time, they both worked in UPW, Ultimate Pro Wrestling in California, I think it was, right? So they got a history together. They're familiar. So why not? You know what I mean? I'd buy that. Jim says Taker couldn't keep up with AJ. He wouldn't need to. Taker controls the pace of the match. He's the veteran. Even though AJ's been in it for a while, he's the respected veteran. He's the top guy. He would dictate the pace of the match. I still think it would be good. AJ versus RKO at Mania. Yeah, you're right. Toby, thank you for reminding me. Toby's getting me back on track, folks. They are teasing Randy Orton and AJ Styles. It could happen. Why not? Thoughts on JR sign with AEW? Alan, as we said as the show went live here today, nothing's been confirmed by Jim Ross. Unless it happened in the last hour, and you guys know and I don't, okay? Nothing's officially been confirmed by Jim Ross. Until it is, I don't believe it. I need to see official confirmation from AEW or Jim Ross or both, okay? Christopher, yeah, the Ric Flair Funko Pop has been ordered. It's the newest one with the red robe. The robe is open, and he's doing this. He's doing that, you know. I got that ordered. It hasn't released yet, so it'll be at the house whenever it... James, hey, what's up? Thanks. Okay. So, yeah, we'll see whenever it gets here. The last Funko I got... What was the last pop I got? Holy cow. Did you guys see the empty space on the shelf? I put a new shelf up. I got shelves, okay? I got shelves. Believe that, all right? So, man's got to have shelves, got to have pops, right? So, yeah, so the last one I got was... Well, there's Captain Marvel. She glows in the dark. Where's my finger? Shisha. See? She glows in the dark. I don't think that's the last one I got. Was it? Yeah. Maybe that was the last one I got. I may have a problem, is the point I'm making to you here, folks. So, Cena versus Joe has to be. They have been leading to it with Truth talking about him. Oh, for sure. And Truth last week talking about what would John Cena do. I love that stuff. Jason, thanks, man. So Jason said goodbye. We're going to take one more question here. We're going to take it home, folks, before we get to our Fastlane weekend. Alma's asking about, will Flair get involved? He could be there at WrestleMania. In fact, I think he probably will be because it's Ric Flair and it's WrestleMania. Hopefully he won't take any bumps. AJ and Randy had a dark match at SmackDown. It was weird. Well, yeah, these things everybody can have an off night. Jenna doesn't have shows yet. Jenna, post or send me a pic of your wrestling wall. I'm interested. Show it to me. Would you? That's cool. Awesome. My whole office is a comic book / wrestling wall. The whole thing. It's crazy. I'll give you guys a tour of it. Maybe I'll do that on my Facebook page. I'll hold the phone up and give you a tour. Would you guys like that? I'll do that maybe when the show goes off. How's that? Alan says, greatest wrestler of all time. Man, Alan's opened up the floor at the end of the show. Flair, no doubt. 100%. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate that. Rick is referee. No, Andrew. No. Flair's got no business getting in the ring. No. I like the idea. I don't like the execution of it. Let's don't have that happen. All right, folks. I think that's all we got. I don't have a great big blockbuster. Thank you for the question about the greatest of all time. I didn't take that lightly. Flair's my guy. Always has been, always will be. Just how it is. That's all we got, I think, man. So, listen. I got to thank everybody for hanging out. Of course, I appreciate the love. Thank you guys for your positive comments. Your feedback is welcome. If you guys are sending me instant messages on my Facebook account and I've not answered, please do not take that personally. I've had a big week. I got stuff going on outside of this. It's required my attention. It's been tough to get back to it. Thank you, Miss Lopez. As always, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate that. So if I'm not responding, please don't take it personal, man. It's not meant to be personal. That's all I got, man. There again, man, if we're not friends on Facebook, please send me a friend request. I will accept, and that's all we got for you. Enjoy Fastlane this weekend. It's going to rock, and with any luck, we can go live at least during part of the show on Sunday night. That's it, man. We're out of here. We will see you next time on Tom Clark's Main Event.